Tommy Walsh here for Volkswagen Ask the Swan. We've got your questions ready, so let's see who's up this week. Hello and welcome to this week's Volkswagen Ask the Swan. This week we've got Dane Rampe, so we're going to ask him a couple of your questions that you sent in. Dane, the first question is from Chris Healy. He says, "Hi Dane."
No, sorry, Tommy, the first question was from Sven. Thank you, Sven, for asking in. You got it wrong in this, so it says here, guys.
Who shows this, Dane?
How is your surname pronounced? Old Tommy over here says Dane Rampe. It's actually Dane Rampe. So let's just get that clear, mate. I thought you would at least know that. So as you were, but it's Rampe. It's Rampe, guys. There you go, mate.
Okay, the first question is from Chris Healy. He says, "Hi Dane, you seem to be playing a role in the mould of Alex Johnson. Is this your natural game or something you've had to learn?" And he thinks you're doing very well, so keep it up.
Thank you,
Chris.
Thank you, Chris. No, I guess it's not a natural role for me. I grew up playing half back, but not so much as a defensive, more of an attacking half back option. And I guess coming to the Swans to be able to get a go in the team and stay in the team, I had to really develop my defensive aspect of my game, and I think that's pretty much anything keeping me in the team at the moment. So I've got to keep travelling along that, doing all right there.
No, you're doing well, mate. Good stuff. The second question is from M. Keyville. She says, "What are your goals for the season?"
I guess my goal is just to build the trust and develop a good rapport with the fellas down back, and then I guess my teammates in general. Just want to, as I said, build their trust and then just stay in the team as long as I can and gain as much experience as I can.
Any goals to get a haircut later on in the year?
No, probably not. No.
A question from Tanya Dalton. She says, "Dane, who has been your mentor since joining the Swans, and who's had the biggest influence on you since you've arrived?"
My mentor is Joey Kennedy, so I've been having a few regular chats with him, and we talk about everything from footy to just how life is outside, what I'm doing off the field. So he's been really good in that aspect. But in terms of on the field, I'm talking a lot with Mal and Heath Grundy, Teddy Richards. They're really good for my defensive part of my game, and I think that I'm trying to learn as much as I can off them because obviously they're seasoned experts.
Good work. A question from Becky Beagle. She says, "Who did you support and who was your favourite player as a kid?"
I've grown up supporting the Swans ever since I can remember. My telegraph pole is painted red and white out the front of my house, and that's something Dad has to keep adhere to every year. Gets a new paint job on it. My favourite players growing up were Brett Kirk and Jude Bolton.
Good stuff. The next question is from Holly Graham. She wants to know, what nickname have the guys given you? And be honest, because I know what it is.
Well, I've got a few nicknames. Early on, ever since the early NAB Cup games and round one, I have been Crampy, because I've been cramping in pretty much every game, and I came off. I was actually subbed the first game because I was cramping everywhere from my calves, hamstrings, even up to my lats. So thank you, Tommy. I'm I'm getting, as more of lately, probably more prevalent lately, is Mufasa, based on I like to think the luscious mane of hair, but I guess that's subject to.
Can you give us a slight shot of the hair just to show?
Not at all.
Okay. A question from Noel Walton. He wants to know, firstly, what's your favourite karaoke song to sing, and secondly, just on your hair, what conditioner do you like? What conditioner do you like to use? He reckons you have a fantastic head of hair in you.
Well, thank you, Noel. Noel's actually one of my mates, so I think he's just getting on there just to,
You still have to answer the question.
Keep go at me, but the question was my karaoke song was probably, without a doubt, has to be Ray Charles. I've Got a Woman. I consider myself quite the soul singer. So, and as for the conditioner, I actually don't use conditioner. My secret is just salt water. I think that's what the cavemen did back in the days, just jump in the water. Natural oils is, that's what keeps it long and luscious.
Do you reckon that could work for me?
Oh, definitely not.
I just don't go to the beach, you get burnt. So, the last question is from some guy called Gary Rowan.
Who?
Gary Rowan, exactly who. He wants to know, how good of a bloke is Gary Rowan, and is he funny?
Gary Rowan is not a good bloke, no, and no, as you can tell by that paragraph he's written as a question, he's not funny either.
I agree with you there. Okay, thanks for tuning in to this week's Volkswagen Ask the Swan. Thank you, Dane, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for all the great questions. To get involved, use the hashtag VWAskASwan on Twitter, like us on Facebook, or log on to sydneyswans.com.au. I'll see you next week.